computer. My glasses are kind of... Okay, here we go. Welcome to Visnostics at Wine-30. I hope everyone's got their favorite wine. This is the first live Visnostics and Wine podcast, which is a new platform to share Visnostic success stories. So our speaker today is Camille Ulmann, and I first met Camille at the RE/MAX State Conference in Houston, Texas, when she attended my session. And I want to tell you how I lured her into the session, because right now, you don't really care who I am or who Camille is. You want to know what's in it for you. And is this worth your time? So yes, it is. Here's what the description of my session said and why Camille decided to join it. Increase sales and inventory immediately by leveraging neuroscience with Visnostics. Make your life better in just 30 minutes by learning the basic secrets of Visnostics and how you can apply them in real estate and in other areas of your life. Establish instant rapport with your clients. Increase interest from new potential buyers by filming Visnostic videos to sell your listings. Sell more immediately by learning it's not what your ad says, it's how you word it. So again, welcome to Visnostics at Wine-30. And guess what? You're all going to get a sample of those incredible secrets of what's left of our 30 minutes together today. So the second time I saw Camille was when I spoke at her office in Austin, Texas, just a few weeks after the state conference. And she came up to me and shared some of her incredible successes. And it was just, it was such a short period of time between the state conference and when I saw her again. So I'm going to share my screen, and I would love, I put my glasses on, and I'm going to have Camille where's my Zoom? This is so awkward. Okay, I am sharing my screen. Ready, set, share. Let me make it bigger. Okay. Camille, what happened yesterday?
Thank you, Kimberly. Well, I will say you're right. I came straight home from that RE/MAX conference and just, you know, I learned a long time ago, you can't just go listen to a great speaker and wonderful ideas. It's like Nike coined it years ago. You gotta just do it. So I came straight home and started, you know, implementing the Visnostics technique in my marketing. And when was that, Kimberly? Back in February. And so we're in June now. We've gone through COVID. The market's kind of, you would think, had a slowdown. And this was my yesterday, nearly $3 million in business. And I feel like to have a great, productive, good day like I had yesterday, I've got to kind of back up and say how I feel, you know, that my takeaways from Visnostics that got me those great results all in one day. And it really goes back to, like, I learned when I initially meet with those clients, all those clients that I managed to do deals with yesterday, either buyers or sellers. And it starts from the very first time that I met them. And in the old days, I would say I did a kind of dry question interview with my, let's take a seller. And Kimberly's methods opened my eyes to how I'm not really trying to sell a house. I'm trying to sell the love, the memories, the lifestyle, the warmth, everything that they lived and felt in that home. And so I've started doing my seller interviews completely differently now. And of course, you still need to get the basics about the house, but honestly, you can almost pull most of that from tax records and then fill in your notes from a quick tour of the home. But going deeper with the owners when I first sit down with them, and I call it mind mapping. Asking them to just describe your favorite memories from living here, and then it's amazing how the more you get them talking, the more they want to say. And pretty soon it's like I'm writing as fast as I can all these great ideas that I'm going to use in the marketing. And I encourage them. I said, oh, keep talking like that. Keep telling me about that, the wonderful place where you now put your Christmas tree, and how, the wonderful Christmas memories you have in this living room around that Christmas tree. Because I'm going to use this in when I market your home. And they buy into that. They really like that. It's just so much more engaging and getting to the heart than saying, let's go for a tour of the house and, show me the features. That's going to be secondary, and that's going to actually sell itself. But it's getting to the red zone, I call it, that Visnostics taught me to do with my sellers, and then to do the same thing with my buyers. Yeah. It was quite a day. I actually, let me drink to that.
Yeah, here, cheers to you. Woo!
Yeah.
Tell them the story about the very first time you tried this with the person that was,
I am going to tell that story, Kimberly, because it is really, it's like I've plugged in Visnostics and I use it regularly now. I really need to get all the rest of your books, but I call it my business Bible. Now it's never very far from me, and I consult it all the time. But it was actually the very first time, because I was just green. I came back from convention and I had this new listing, and I thought, I'm going to do this. I'm going to plug this in. And I will warn, it took me all day. It's a little bit hard you got to learn it. The first time took forever. Now it's almost like a way of thinking. I can almost spit it out, just tell me something and I can put it in Visnostics now. But let me share this, because I just feel like it's the results that, all kinds of other real estate marketing seem to take months, maybe even years to get results. Like farming a neighborhood to get new clients, and it takes years to do that. Visnostics works. You get results right away. Like with, I got it within minutes with this particular seller who had listed her very expensive lot with me. Our list price on this lot was $1.5 million. And I was, definitely wanting to do a good job for her. And she's also kind of a driver herself, and I was afraid she was going to tell me what to say. So I spent a lot of time on that in my description, and I sent it to her, and I can read that to y'all in just a minute. But it's the result it got within a few minutes. I thought, oh, she'll critique that, and wanted to say, she goes, I just love what you wrote on the MLS listing. It's exactly what I think. It's perfect. That's what you want. You want your luxury seller to feel about the way you're going to market for them. And I gave Kimberly credit. I was like, well, I'm glad you like it. And I just learned that method. And I'm, that style at a RE/MAX convention from a great speaker. She's written books, and she's going to be a guest speaker at my office tomorrow. That's when Kimberly came to Austin. So I was telling my seller that, and she said, I really plan to learn more and really begin to perfect the style. And I warned her I was limited to the number of characters that I have in our MLS, because I really wanted to say a whole lot more. And she shot right back after that. It's almost verbatim what you wrote to what I told my custom builder and all my family and friends. I'm really excited about what else you might learn about this method. And so let me kind of give an example of what we're talking about here. So, in my old days, the old me to market this lot might have written something like this, and this is important. This is going out on the internet. Buyers are going to read this. Agents are going to read this. This is where you capture them to have some interest maybe in coming to look at what you're trying to market. So this is, remember, it's just a lot. So I was, but you know, in the old me might have said great views on this flat 1 acre lot that overlooks Lake Travis. Build your dream home here. Bring your own builder, or we can recommend one. It's located in the gated peninsula section of Rough Hollow. There's lots of wonderful area amenities. But this is what Visnostics taught me to say, and this is what my owner said, that's perfect. So I wrote, if I owned this lot, I could live the life of a millionaire at the peninsula. I'd save thousands every year in vacations because I'd prefer the privacy, beauty, and convenience of my own backyard. I'd build a dream home and I'd lounge at the pool overlooking nature's glorious Lake Travis and the hill country. I'd design wall-sized windows and covered terraces where friends and family would enjoy the Lake Travis every day of the year. Why, we'd be the envy of all who visit us because our home would feel like a resort. Our lifestyle would include morning yoga classes, early afternoon floats on the lazy river pool, late afternoon boat rides, sunset dinners. And here at Rough Hollow, they invite you to come live the rough life. And I'll say this place has exceptional resort-style amenities. In our guard-gated neighborhood, we have private water access. We pack the cooler, hop in the golf cart, and take the tram to our waiting boat. If you wish you could have that lifestyle today, hurry to a private viewing. Believe me, this luxury view lot will be gone before summer. Come see the rough life for yourself, but pack your bags because you won't want to leave. And I feel that that's what she loved. And I just think the difference even affects me to this day. I'm just like, oh yeah, A or B, one or two. It's so easy to see. I mean, and I'm selling a vacant piece of land, nothing on it, but you're selling the dream. That's what you're really selling. Yes. The custom home they would have in there, that lifestyle. That's what you need to sell. Not like the old me would have sold the acre lot that's flat.
Yes.
Okay.
But Camille, you did such a job.
So
that's the first time I've got to hear that. That was phenomenal.
And a lot of that, you probably recognize some of it, I think, because I was a newbie at that point. I probably had your book right there, and I think I probably plagiarized some of that right from your book.
Oh, it was so good.
But
I felt like I was there.
Do it. I'm telling you, Kimberly, it is, you need to create the vision. When, you know, Visnostics, you're trying to create a vision, kind of, you're the artist painting a picture. It's, you know, I pulled up, I wonder if I can find that real quick, this typical description in an MLS listing, and I'm just like, oh my God, I will never go there again. I'm just not going to do that. So it's back to that whole thing where you're just kind of, you'll see how cold it sounds. So here's a $600,000 listing, and the wording is, it's a rare single-story home with wood floors. It's light and bright with soaring ceilings, and it's open to the spacious kitchen that has granite counters and stainless steel appliances. It's got an island and a sit-up bar. It features a spacious master bedroom with 2 walk-in closets. Actually, I can relate to this because I used to write this stuff. Nicely sized game room and a separate home office. And recent upgrades include adding wood flooring through all the bedrooms, adding shutters, and a ring doorbell. And I'm just like, now I just would say that so differently, much like that, paint the picture, talk about the lifestyle. But I feel like doing that then gets you a day like I had yesterday. When you do that with each of your clients, that's going to bring the buyers, it's going to satisfy your client, it makes them, take ownership. And I'm now starting to ask my sellers on the seller interview. I'll kind of get them started with my mind map and say, well, tell me, what did you love about living in this home? And then when they say, well, we're outdoorsy people, tell me more about that. And then you just start writing down all this wonderful lifestyle they describe. And sometimes they've got time to get involved. I had one seller that I had kind of written it, but she read it and she went on to describe it in her own words. And I thought, wow, now that's really great. That, yeah, so let me lead into this. Let me show, like, I think we all grab a sheet of paper when you're interviewing a client, but before I would just kind of focus on the mundane, much like that last thing I just read, where, how many bedrooms do you want? How many square feet? How many bathrooms? And I just don't do that anymore. Now I do what I call a mind map. So here's before, it's just, very, very just factual. And now it's like, well, yes, tell me about the family that lives here. You learn so much, because before, when I said, how many bedrooms do you need? And they say 4 bedrooms. If you actually get them talking more, they really don't need 4 bedrooms. They actually want 3 bedrooms and a place to have their exercise equipment, or 3 bedrooms and a place to have a home office or a second home office. Yep. And as you get them talking, they will tell you so much about what they like and what they want. You can almost figure out the neighborhood and almost maybe the street in that neighborhood to take them to, depending on what kind of views or whatever they want. To lead them, you won't even have to show very many houses once you start doing this, because you're going to understand exactly what they want.
Share the story of
so it has really, really worked well.
Share your story of the multiple offers that you just recently got.
I have to say that one of those successes yesterday really, and this has all been since I've, studied and starting to put into practice Visnostics. With this one seller, it broke during COVID, broke all records of any of my listings for the number of showings. Our results was 34 showings in one weekend and a stack of 14 offers. I got the seller over 50,000 above their asking price. I want to say we priced the 400s and got up over 450. And with 14 hours, I was actually able to get them cash. So obviously my seller was just thrilled. It's going to be the highest price per square foot that has ever sold in that neighborhood. And if I'm smart, I need to try to do some other marketing with that. But again, I feel like I interviewed the seller the right way by really getting into their red zone, their vision, their memories of that home. And they had it staged and looking really darling. And then just, my description in MLS to grab those agents and all those buyers that shop online, quickly reading something out of that is just like the convenience of being able to walk a quarter mile to HEB, to Starbucks, and HEB is a grocery store here, to Starbucks and restaurants has just been awesome. It's something we love about living here. And we love to hit the nearby Alamo Draft House for a quick flick and a dinner. It's been easy to keep our pantry stocked with specialty items because it's only 3 miles to Costco and Whole Foods. We love jogging and hiking and the outdoors, and there's so many trails in this neighborhood, and we love and visit the parks and trails that are near our home. And then they described their floor plan a little bit and how that worked so well for them. But again, it's like not that 4 bedroom, 2.5 bath description. It's letting I learned this from you, Kimberly. Say it in the first person as if it's the seller speaking. We did, we loved, this was my favorite thing about living here. It's, you don't tell it as a cold description third party. You put it in, let them describe it. And that has worked really, really well. Yeah. But with such results with almost everything, it's been amazing. But especially with changing my my marketing. And I've done it with my social media too. I mean, it's almost like go to, and of course I am talking about real estate application because I'm a realtor. But I feel like this could work in so many other areas as well. But if like I used to go into social media and maybe post a listing and say, under contract, whatever, over asking price. And like one that but of course using Visnostics, I tell a different story. And so my clients had a pet tortoise, and he lived in the backyard. So on my social media post, the big description on the photo of the house going under contract so quick said, pet tortoise steals the show. And so instead of it being about just sold or under contract, everybody says that. It's like now they want to know, what does it mean pet tortoise, stole the show? And then I started it off with, this is such a great story. And when the seller was a young girl, she won Buddy at the fair, and he fit in the palm of her hand. And she took him home in a fishbowl, but he grew in size, because he kept growing when she put him free outdoors. And today he's a pretty big tortoise. And when buyers stepped outside, Buddy would come hurrying out from underneath the deck to greet them. These particular buyers fell in love with Buddy, bought the house for thousands over asking on the first day. Thank you, Buddy. I owe you a finder's fee, or maybe to bring you some of your favorite food, which is strawberries. And that thing went crazy on social media. But it was a totally different way to talk about a property, a post. And I'm just telling you, I'm sold. It works. I can't get enough of this. I'm just do it for everything now.
Oh, God.
And I thank you so much.
Oh,
wow.
I can write books all day long, but it takes the right people to go and execute it. And you have mastered it. I invented this, and I still struggle with it. It is the most natural
thing
for you.
Here's the thing, Kimberly. It's like you put in all that work that you've done the research on the science and the neuroscience and everything of why, you had to find out why it works, so that you could prove that it does. Yeah. And now for me, it's like, I'm going to let you do all that. I don't even care how it works. I just know it works. And so I'm just going to plug it in and use it. I just want to run with it. But I'm glad you did all the science part for me. But it is like a theory, a system, a practice that is backed by science. And I do like that because I am a science major, from college. And I like that. I like the data. I like the facts. That's
a lot of people don't know what even Visnostics is, and just for anyone that hasn't read the books or has no idea, it's a trademarked word. I've trademarked it, and it's the word visualization and diagnostics. So just like she was showing those questionnaires, she had a questionnaire for buyers, a questionnaire for sellers. And questions have a different reaction in our brain. It triggers a fight or flight. When you make a statement like, tell me, describe for me, envision, imagine, all of those things trigger a visualization. And Visnostics is two words put together, visualizations and diagnostics. So the VIS, the VIS in visualization, and the Gnostics in Visnostics is how you spell Visnostics. And so I wanted to kind of wrap this up today because we're keeping these at 30 minutes. I want to share this beautiful, beautiful visual that Camille has. And Camille, would you just walk us through this vision board? It's awesome.
Well, I feel like, I've told you this in the past, Kimberly, that, I don't feel like I can go out and help other people reach their dreams and goals as their realtor, finding the perfect house for them, if I don't have my own act together to start with. And so I always do a vision board every year. And this is mine for 2020. It's hanging right over here beside me in this room. And I look at it every day. And I know it's just, the science behind it. I don't understand why it works, but it works. I know you do know, but it's like if you put it on the vision board and you put a picture of it, it will happen. I'll never forget the year we were redecorating or really we had just bought a lake house, and I did a vision book a little bit on things I wanted for my lake house, and then that kind of got set aside. I was shocked and amazed like a year later to pull that book out and look at everything that I had in that lake house, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it was right there in that picture. I visioned that, months ago, and it became a reality. So I'm pretty excited about that new master bath I'm going to get. Apparently, I've got it visioned down there. It hadn't happened yet, but it's going to be nice. And of course, our travel has been a little stymied because of COVID. But hey, that too shall pass. And I'm I'm so excited to look out my windows and design these butterfly and hummingbird gardens this year at my house. But I think it's very important to do this. I can't stress it enough. Everybody should do a vision board.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It means like I think it's the vision. It's the viz in the Visnostics. It's how it works.
The reason that I loved when you sent this picture to me is because this is almost metaphoric of what Visnostic does for your buyers and your sellers. You're showing the seller, or you're actually pulling this out of the seller, which creates this emotional connection with you where they don't even understand why they love you, but they're going to refer so much business to you. They're never going to sell a house without getting you in their mind. You're going to be the first one that comes to mind. That you've given them good feelings. But then you also, with your description that you got from them, you have painted a vision board for the buyer. The right buyer is going to be attracted to this, and they will pay more than the asking price because you painted the vision that's so powerful. Now it becomes almost an obsession. They are determined to get this dream. And
awesome. I get it.
Great job,
you're telling me why it works so well. Well, I know I'll close by saying along what you just said, like with buyers, once we do that mind map and they've described this wonderful home, I do ask them to go like on Pinterest or something, and I'll say, send me a picture of that. And I will put it in the front of their file. I still keep an old time file. And every time I open it, or if they've got a dog and we're finding a backyard for the dog, I'll say, send me a picture of the dog. And it helps you bond with the client. And then actually every time I open that file, I know I'm finding that backyard for that dog, or I'm, finding them that particular home. Yeah. So it works. Thank you, Kimberly.
There is no doubt, Camille, that you have got a bunch of new fans now. So if somebody wanted to refer you to a friend to buy or sell a home, what is the best way for them? Or look, I asked a question. Shame on me. Tell everyone the best way. Please tell everyone the best way to contact you.
Well, so I think that you can find me on Facebook. Camille Ulmann, or my business Facebook page is your Austin Area Home Team on Facebook. They can call me, my phone number is 512-656-7502. I have a little unusual first and last name, so you can kind of Google me too and find me here in Austin, and I am with Remax Austin Skyline. And I'd love to hear from anybody, or if anybody wants to just call and ask any other questions, I'm happy to try to answer those as well.
Thanks.
Thank you.
You're awesome. I love following you and all your success. And then one final thing.
Thank you. Hey, it works. If I can do it, they can do. Anybody can do it.
And I'm here to help too. So anyone that buys a book, coaching from me is included, which I don't know. I've never bought a book where an author did that, but I have a vested interest in everyone's success. So here's my offer to everyone that's watching this podcast. What's in it for you? I don't care what social media you go on, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever is your thing. If you will post something that you got out of today's podcast, or even this replay, I'd love it if you shared the replay and do the hashtag Visnostics so I can go find it. And you can send them to me, email them to me at kimslavic@dynaexec.com. And what I'll do is for every post, I'll give you $1 off my book, up to $5, because then you're getting into my cost. And then I'll sign a book and send it to you. So I look forward to it. And by the way, you're helping you're helping a lot of people out, because Visnostic is not a word right now, and the more it gets out on social media, the more likely Webster will accept it as a real word. So thanks again for everybody investing the 30 minutes, and I'm anxious to see you on the next Visnostics Wine 30. Have a great night. Enjoy your wine.
Thanks. Bye.